Hey, Frank, we saw the news earlier about LeBron missing the game. Just want to see what updates you had on his knee and how he's doing.
Yeah, just dealing with some soreness. Played three games in 4 nights, a lot of minutes, and there's enough soreness to keep him out tonight.
And so, would it be the typical way that it's gone, where you're hopeful that he plays for next game? You wait and see how he feels. I guess there would be 3 days until the next game.
Yes.
Okay. What with him out now? It's been something you, of course, have had to deal with, not as much without AD also. What are the keys there, and how do you try to collectively make up for that?
Yeah, well, it's got to be done by committee. We have to continue to move the basketball the way we did in 2 of the last 3 games. We had over 30 assists, and we got to continue to have a team approach.
Frank, good reach there. With LeBron, is any part of the thinking like there's a nice long time at home? There's obviously some critical standings games in the last 9. Is part of this kind of like maybe if we can get it all in 1 week,
if he can be in there, he wants to be in there. He's dealing with soreness in the knee.
I think we're probably past the point where we're asking you like, is this just a blow to continuity? This has sort of been just the way it's gone for you guys. But are there things that you guys have been doing stylistically these last 3 games that you think can continue even if LeBron doesn't play?
Yeah, I think just playing with more positional size, despite how it may compromise the floor spacing offensively. Something that we benefited from with LeBron in the lineup. So we will look at that. Obviously, with the matchup with Embiid, just having more size out there. But without LeBron out there, we always have to worry about, do we have enough shooting out there? So we'll try to steal a little bit of what worked in those last couple of games and strike that balance.
Frank, I'm wondering about the kind of the locker room vibe and chemistry when you have a team. You've tried so many different things this year, so many different lineups, guys have been in and out. And where you've landed is on a bunch of guys who either weren't on the team or maybe didn't expect to have big roles on this team coming into the year. And then guys who I'm sure thought they were going to have big roles this year either don't on a consistent basis. How is that whole process and kind of where you guys are now reflected in what this group is like kind of behind the scenes? Yeah,
it's not ideal, but this is coaching in the NBA, and you stumble on the guys that that you feel best about, giving you the best chance to win, and that's where we're at. Everybody in the locker room, only wants what's best for the team and for us to win, so everybody's pulling in the same direction.
Frank, you guys have talked about how unique Wenyen's skill set is with his ability to both space the floor and protect the rim. How much has that skill set and him kind of acclimating and finding his footing helped during this 3-game, 4-game stretch that you guys have had, playing really well on both ends?
Yeah, well, it's definitely helped. His length and his athleticism is something that we've lacked all season long. In terms of having somebody like that can still provide the floor spacing and the threat to knock down threes. It's something that we haven't really had. So, he has the potential to really change things for us. Obviously, he's a very young, inexperienced player. So it's a little bit unsettling to rely too much on him. But so far, the minutes that we've given him or the games that we've given him bigger minutes, he's produced. And we've had a different feel to us. So, it's something we're optimistic about.
Yeah, quick follow-up. We saw in watching Anthony do his pregame shooting the spot shooting over the past week, we saw him do kind of more and more in terms of like some more movement and stuff like that. Did he get any sort of evaluation now that you guys are back and kind of, has he been cleared for even further progression? No,
I think it's really just he's getting evaluated on a daily basis, based on the amount of work he did the day prior, but not like imaging and things like that, but just how is it responding to the increased workload, and he's coming along really well.
Hey, Coach, Russ's efficiency the last 3 games. You guys notice anything specific, shot selection or anything that he's doing a little bit different over these last 3 games?
Yeah, just playing with a little more poise, I think, offensively. And, I just think our group has been moving the ball better, and when a team is moving the ball, the way we have the last couple of games, everybody just gets a little bit more of a rhythm, and there's less forcing, and that's one thing that we've really harped on with our group is to stay away from, forcing at the rim, forcing contested shots on the perimeter, just to be patient and continue to play through the next man. And we've done that really well really all three of the last three games, save for the fourth quarter in Washington. But hopefully it's a sign of growth for us.
Coach, can you address defending the Sixers now with Harden? Like you have the game plan probably for Joel and James as much as you can.
Yeah, another situation is not ideal. I'm trying to figure out how to stop those two guys. It's really interesting to see how the chemistry took off right away, with those two. Because you never know. I mean, everybody has different skill sets. And I think, James's decision making and obviously his ability to shoot the three off the bounce and make defenders go over pick and rolls, really creates a dynamic tandem between the two of them. And you see the chemistry right away. It's been tough for teams to start to get the number one rated offense since James arrived. And we spent all day talking about how to slow it down.
Frank, apologies if you mentioned this. Did you get to THT's ankle in the
Game
building?
time.
Game time.
Yep.
And what have you seen when, not that it's an exact player swap, but with Augustine in the second unit and kind of his different skill set and how that fits there compared to THT, if you see any of that for the second unit?
Yeah, different. They're obviously very different players, but they can both be effective within their skill set. Obviously DJ with the catch and shoot game and really being under control and poised with his off the dribble game. But Talon is just that dynamic athlete that can really attack the rim and put a lot of pressure on the paint. More so than DJ and some of the other players. Obviously Talon, is a bigger and longer defender. So they're just different players, and both of them can help us in their within their skill sets.
Frank, I'm paraphrasing you here, but in Cleveland, you said something along the lines of we're trying to implement parts of the modern game kind of on the fly. Has that caused you, has the game moved so much, even in the last year or so, that you've had to do away with some of your tried and true parts of what you relied on in coaching over the years and had to adjust and add new things?
Yeah, I don't know if the game has changed so much. We haven't only, been teaching these things of late. We have been teaching them throughout the course of the year, but we have a veteran group, who has played a certain way throughout their whole career. So, trying to get those guys to adapt and evolve, their game, especially in terms of offensively, making, this star trio or, whatever you want to call it in terms of, the offensive team that we put together, trying to make those pieces fit, as required guys to do things that they haven't traditionally done throughout their career, in terms of playing off the ball and whatnot. And, the best way to describe it is just, playing through the next man, having an open paint and positionless rollers, and the willingness to pocket pass and then play make from the pocket, with guys that haven't typically done that throughout their career. And I think Stanley Johnson is probably leading our team in terms of, adopting, these techniques, that you see a lot of the modern NBA use. Draymond, probably does it better than anybody, but you look at the way Miami plays, with not just PJ Tucker, but Jimmy Butler, a guy who's posted and had the ball in his hands a lot of his career, is really playing through a lot of DHOs and rolls to the basket, Bam Adebayo, guys like that. And, it's something that you see at every position now. The kid Brown in Brooklyn, one of the smallest guys on the team, basically playing a rolling center. And, it's something that we're preaching with all five guys on the floor. And, it's coming along. It's been really good the last couple of games.
Yeah, Frank, issues with muting, but you just talked about Stanley and that ability to pocket pass and sort of picking up on that. Over the course of the season, have you gotten a beat on what you think his strengths are as a player and like where are the best areas for him to develop, because he's still kind of figuring out exactly his career path. And, you know, there have been ups and downs that I don't think he anticipated coming into the league.
Yeah, I've got a good feel for it. And, you know, the longer answer I gave to the last question, you know, basically is the answer to this question about Stanley is, you know, he's learning, you know, this style of play, you know, where it doesn't, every 3-point line catch doesn't have to be, you know, I hope I make a three and I hope I shoot a high enough percentage. You know, he's learning to play through the next man and, you know, the next action, you know, and then turn some of those catches against sagging defenses into rolls to the basket. And, you know, so I think that's the direction that, you know, that his game hopefully will go.
Thank you.